Yo, it's your boy Jester the Undead.
And Sam Grimm.
And together we are Sick Fist. And right now, you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with your boy Skippy Ickham.
I'm gonna tell you a story, a little piece of history about my life, a story that's full of violence, broken dreams, and seemingly endless strife, and how I discovered a method of projecting my pain in a positive light. And on that night I died, and then I let Sam Grimm pick up the mic. He showed me the way and he gave me an outlet I never thought someone like me could possess, and I took it and ran with it fast as I can, as my demons caused me to retrogress. I fought my way out of so many holes, I can still feel insects on my flesh. I made myself and Sam a promise to never give anything less than my best, and I live that promise every day, and these words are burned inside of my brain. Dying is easy. If that's what you want, then you can go and meet your maker today. But if life is your goal, embrace your hurt, use the tribulations to make your way. I'll guarantee that this is gonna be the most brutal game you will ever play. So I picked up the sword, hacked and slashed my way through the muck and the mire, keeping my sights on the target so I can bring to fruition my dreams and desires, hoping that one day I will become big enough so that I can be admired. In order to make my soul burn again, I gotta find a way to reignite my fires. Let me hear you one more time. Say it again, say it again, say it again. Raise your voices, raise them high. Now everybody say, let me hear you one more time. Say it again, say it again, say it again. Raise your voices, raise them high. Now everybody say. First thing I'll say is this ain't no game. I'm here to claim fame and put you all to shame. I paid my dues and I changed my ways, but you motherfuckers always trying to put me away. I dealt with the bullshit, tried with the drug biz, stayed sacked up when I was fucking with the white bitch. Tired of the dumb shit, I ran with the full clip and flex with the chopper when the bitches wanna pull it. Somehow it ended with rumors of me and my brother looking like the asshole kings, when all we were doing was standing our ground to protect our family from the bullet rain. Fuck friends, I'll say it again. Fuck friends, they in it for them. Fuck friends, even dealing with kin, you will see it begin as it grows like a leech in the skin. I don't know what I've been told, but real just don't exist anymore. And if you ask why I'm so cold, it's cause I get shit on as life unfolds. I'm stuck in this pit of despair. I wish it was easy as using the stairs. Now I know that nobody cares. I'm spinning in circles and going nowhere. This life is so cold and unfair. But when you're in need, there's nobody there. And I'll fight for the right to live life and make right all the times I made life so impossible to bear. But hey, in the meantime, I'll take my place, I'll take my shine. Just watch as we rise with the changing of times and acquire the tools to cleanse this musical air. Let me hear you one more time. Say it again, say it again, say it again. Raise your voices, raise them high. Now everybody say, let me hear you one more time. Say it again, say it again, say it again. Raise your voices, raise them high. Now everybody say, I'm gonna do everything that I can possibly do if it's within my physical powers. And if it ain't something I can do right now, then I'm gonna find a way to upgrade my prowess. I'm gonna unleash the beast that I keep beneath the surface and give it an outlet. Then I'm gonna let it explode on the planet and bring about an age of biblical titans. Oh yeah, alright. The hair on my arms and the back of my neck feel like they've been electrified. Nothing compares to the high that I get when I'm spitting my shit from behind this mic. I've been away for too long, but the prodigal son is finally home tonight. I don't know how, but I did not realize that the problem I had was not giving a damn. And everything I tried to better myself just ended up making me a cynical man. The life that I tried to hold on to so tightly was kept in the vault in my castle of sand. It got to the point where I considered joining up with the Ku Klux Klan, but I said fuck them bitches. I keep my niggas
Ride or die, 239. Believe me when I say that you don't wanna fuck with it. The crown that I claim is a product of pain, and I am willing to bleed for it. Sick fist click, we own this bitch, and I wish somebody would try and take it. Let me hear you one more time. Say it again, say it again, say it again. Raise your voices, raise them high. Now everybody say. Let me hear you one more time. Say it again, say it again, say it again. Raise your voices, raise them high. Now everybody say.
Danny, woke up and I feel magazine on the dick is a book for real. Wishing a nigga would like Pinocchio. I hit him with the okie doke. On you, they should look and feel. Half of these out here are hundreds and fake. Got shooting and shit with a gun in their face. I don't stun, I don't play. I keep running in places. I'm running your place. Bitch, who's running this place? Got a 45 in the house. I'm sure that you finna drive. I'm going you waiting in the car. You chilling inside. I got the dope in the pistol. Money and missiles. To punish my opponents that made me angry. So it's sound design. If you want it, you got it. You got my attention. No in between friends when you shot when you slip. A Glock with a clip and I'm shooting like Pippin. You throwing words at me, bitch. I can't just sit in the man monster. Don't nobody want you. Society has made us. Now we back to haunt you. My man-made monster. Don't nobody want you. Society has made us. Now we back to haunt you. Hold on back and fucking wait a minute. I'm just a product of the place I'm living. I don't give a fuck about a fake religion. Give a fuck about a state of politician. I don't give a fuck about most shit. I be getting stoned going through the motions like a heroin needle that's poking into your skin. Bro, my flow is killing something every time it goes in. Who wants smoke with Max, Dean, and Danny? Y'all are liquor, Molly, Coke, and Lean, and Zanny. Bro, the gang eternal, y'all don't understand me. Me and Drive-By been down since fetus. Family real, recognize real, recognize real. You looking unfamiliar, homie, that's my deal. Everybody know your boy's been rejected by the devil. Call a motherfucker Wolf J Flywheel. What up?
Reverse, no hearse, spotters disperse, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with a dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. Can't reverse, no hearse, spotters disperse, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with a dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a Salem witch. Voices rush into mine. Ain't no funny from the plea, treating the bloody scene. Now stand back in the face of me. sights to my ears. I handle but like deed in the skin from my fires. Stuff and feeling ready for quantity for to place. I'm amused by my tendency to always be away. Trash bags exposed without a trace. Use and abuse like a bit of that grace. All love when I'm dead, no place when I'm here. Die young from the game, ain't nothing I fear. And nothing I fear, and nothing I fear, and nothing I fear. Reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like I see a witch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like I see a witch. God can't save all. None will be over. We all fall down. Vertical crucifix, I'll say the lamps, river food, looses out, don't get the ground. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a sailor bitch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a sailor bitch. Very well polished black stickers under my eyes. Roll back and drop heavy from that rain pour. The raven fall. It blood all falls apart. I see the red door. Wrap around 6 times like a 7, but no slip bronze. Fun great to stage. Grow from 97 times to normal 8. With the animals alive the cage. Lemon situated up on the wall in the days. The maggots got me twisted. The city's been the lipstick. I fall back, but you can't catch me. I'm falling to the earth. 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 Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a sailor witch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a sailor witch. Can't reverse, no hurts. Spot is dispersed, my curse. When I step out, all I see is black birds. I'm in love with the dog, no tricks. Burning at the stage like a sailor witch.
Before we even got to this motherfucker, that's why I look at it, you know what I'm saying? We just living in this shit, okay? We made a party to something we had nothing to do with, you know? We had to live our life, so that's about all there is to it. And they hadn't made it that much more easier for us, and I'm going to be truthful about it. And I say this in my own sense, as a black man, you know what I'm saying? They definitely haven't made it easier for none of us niggas out here, okay? So we got to live in this shit just the way it is, you know?
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ending? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
I couldn't be what I was meant to be. I couldn't live the way I wanted to see. How could I lie when I was going through times? How could I make it if it wasn't on rhymes? I wasn't living the way I wanted to live. I couldn't give the things I wanted to give. What if I told you I was homeless and broke? Turned to the darkness, life was ruined by coke. I had to make it for my daughter and son. Turn into anger, and from that to a gun. I wasn't supposed to make this long. I had seen taken from Jesus, and from that from a dream. I wasn't born for this war. I wasn't born to be here. My dreams were hopeless and sore. For through the torment and fear, I'm ripping that title down. I'm keeping love for myself, building me up from the ground, full of success and in wealth. Yeah.
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
Everywhere you go to, I need and I want you. I'm sick and I'm crying on my knees, but I want you. Know that you were there before I told you I don't do everything that mom says I'm praying. Come on to. What do I get when your name's been written? What do you get when your face been given? I couldn't take being poor and happy. I wanted more for my kids and family. I wasn't raised to be dumb and stupid. I thank my mother. Don't you wish that you were alive now? Thankful that I'm focused and driven. Thankful thankful for the chance that life's been given. I hope my juggalos will love and feel this. Know that I wrote this with a heart of forgiveness. You may fall for it, we live in the struggle. Produce and market, making life on the hustle.
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
I'll be the man that I saw in my dreams. Take it from word to if you know what I mean. Risen from hatred and grotesque on the street. Hustle for money, what I needed to eat. I've been forgiven for some things that I've done. I won the battle, but the war she ain't won. I cannot take it if I know it's a lie. Life for eternity, I know I will die. But in my family there is friendship and grace. A family torn a bit with pain on their face. I cannot keep my eyes so blinded by truth. My raging heart in time we tore off this roof. I'm killing only for survival and rise. So when my daughter asks, can look in her eyes and tell her we did it and my heart is stay true. I finally did it, baby, did it for you.
This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it? This is my life in a time's remembrance. How could I pass it when my life's been ended? This is my time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you never been in it?
My life in a time's remembrance. How can I pass it when my life's been ended? This is the time for my life's remembrance. Why stop the hate when you've never been ended?
Go back and I look up on this shit, just maybe being warriors or so, but it's always what? If I shoulda, coulda. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to see it like that,
Yo, what's up? This is Genzo, aka Genzo the Schizo, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my homie Skippy Ecom. This is Spreaker Radio. Find me on YouTube, Genzo the Schizo. That's Jinzo the Schizo, Skitzo. And find me on Facebook, Jordan Genzo Malden. Whoop whoop.
I love you, now love me too. I've been watching you for a long time, girly. Hello, chicky chick, it's time. Let me bend you over and put my dick in your behind. Black candles, scented like cinnamon, to get you all in the mood. Pretty corpse grip handles, cause you're a couple more pounds. I'm hellbound, but we can put together now when I die one day. But for now, eat the booty like pie, even though your lights out. Dig you out, pull your panties to the side, put my dick in your dead vagina and fill you on the inside. Then tie on the television, so I'm fucking your dead body with tentacles and masturbating. Thrusting and moving my hips, pumping my dick in your dead pussy lips. Yeah, it feels so good. I love you. The feel in my chest. I love you. Tingling in my dick. I love you. Got my hands on your breast. Yeah. Your vagina's so cold, but I can warm it up. Yeah, with a lighter or two, and then I put it in and we start to fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body
It's a dead body love, and you know I'm a super freak between the sheets, busting skeets, making dead pussies leak. Oh no, the body's starting to turn. I'm ripping up her guts when I serve her with this worm. I'm a sick man, a necro fucking philiac, leaving dead bitches jaws full of this nutsack. Amen. Please say a prayer for me. I turn into a different entity when I smoke this drink. I blaze. So now we pick a body, dig the bitch up to make sure that she's a hottie. She got that little body that makes me so hard. See, sticking my dick in every hole on her body. with this dead broad. I'm not gonna front. The only time I see is when I spark up this blunt. So here we go. Time to light it up. So spark up this blunt so I can kill this fucking cunt.
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body
I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I'm harder than fuck. I see you, but you don't see me. I love you.
Dead body
I play with your hair. 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 Nobody can love you the way that I do. I love you.
Dead body love.
Look at me like I must have done something wrong. They always judging my assumption is the love is gone, when all I'm doing is living and making fucking songs. They keep saying the dirt is where this punk belongs. They want me hating myself, broke on the inside, but that's not the reason that I'm hoping I can hide. I've been fucked up since a bunch of my friends died, and fake friends get me to be open and then lie. They're hating on the person that they made me become. A freak show, but just know I don't hate to be one. Heart beating like the rhythm of the bass of the drums. All they really have achieved is to make me feel numb. The bottom is the spot where they've been wanting me located. It used to have me pent up and constantly frustrated. I bled a lot of positive up out of all this hatred. Now I'm making me a statement as the monster they created. This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no change in what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing. No, there ain't no changing up my brain, it's what you made me be.
Listen to the voices.
I embrace the life of the night, stay away from me. I walk the left-hand path and no escape of me. I listen to the symphony of demons singing praises of my death, even though it's not a fucking reality. They say I'm wrong, my mind's gone. Nobody gives a fuck about my songs. Disappointment to the ones that I love the most. Tears fall upon me from my mother's ghost. I'm too fat, too old, still chasing those dreams down the same old road. Hearts rotten, happiness forgotten. Better go to the graveyard and dig my plot in.
This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no change in what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing. No, there ain't no changing up my brain, it's what you made of me.
I've always been an outcast, always braved. I've been cursed since birth, turned away. They prayed that I wouldn't outlast the torture and the suffering, succumb to all the sickness. Paraded around a Joker show for all of you to witness. Abandonment and loneliness have been my only friends, 'cause everyone else just disappears or breaks my trust and pretends. And who I am from day to day, I guess it all just depends. Sometimes I can't control the urges or the pain as a man. I can't imagine if I was normal, much less if I was still alive. 'Cause I've embraced the darkness, you can feel the hatred in my eyes. Flames been eternally burning for my reprise. I can feel the negativity waiting for my demise. Yo, they wanted me to fail ever since my first breath. They'll be watching, hoping, waiting till the day of my death. I've grown accustomed to everybody trying to leave me stuck in F. Gotta keep on fucking pushing till there ain't nothing left.
This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no change in what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing. No, there ain't no changing up my brain, it's what you made me be. This thing I came to be is simply what you made of me. Whoa, there ain't no changing what's ingrained in every strain of me. Now that my heart is ruined, I can feel a monster brewing. No, there ain't no changing up my brain, it's what you made me be.
What up, it's your boy Jay Caulfield, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground Radio with my homeboy Skippy Ickham on Spreaker Podcast Radio, bringing you the best underground music. Holy shit, it's been years since I touched a mic. Still a piece of motherfucking shit. Yo, I'm an asshole. I'm a fuck up. Every fucking thing I say is fucking fucked up. Yo, I guess that I just fucking suck. Damn right. Fuck. Yo. I guess I'm just a fuck up. I just wanted some love, but I'm getting none, cause I'm an asshole. I don't really care, I think that I'm cool, cocky like a billionaire. I never really learned to shut my mouth. Every single word I say is what goes south. I've got no filter, so there's plenty of pop. Yo, anything and everything is setting me off. What's up, cunt? I never learned to respect. I do what I want. Yo, I'm the worst of the best. I mean the best of the worst. When I'm spreading some dirt. Yeah, fuck your reputation, leave it dead in the dirt. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care, I don't really give up. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care, I don't really give up. I don't give, I don't give up. I don't give, I don't give, I don't give, I don't give up. Right, once I started making some friends, I go and get myself banned from Facebook again. Yeah, try and calm me down, but the hate doesn't end. I'm an internet asshole, the latest in trend. I'll berate you for your views and point out your insecurities. I hate all that you do, and all of it is learned. Need to jump up in your comments or get up in your face and tell you since you're different, you're a fucking disgrace. I'm a grade A dickhead, a high class cunt. Yo, I think I'm gifted and fly as fuck. I don't care if you're my friend, cause friends are for cunts, dude. Before you block my number, just let me say, fuck you. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care. I don't really give up. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care. I don't really give up. I fucked up again. I lost all my friends. I don't care. I don't
Just bullshit this whole time. Oh my god. Smoke blunts, I don't give a fuck. Black sludge, building in my lungs. Stay alive, easier said than done. Fuck life, I'm gonna die young. I just like making it more fun. Damn right, I do this stuff for none. That tight, but shit make you feel dumb. Sneeze white with a little bit of blood. Consume tight, I do what I want. Rest right, swishing in my cup. When it makes it right, like I'll take flight like down the land I'll never come. I don't know whether to write or press my sample to a gun. Do it. I don't know whether to fight, but I feel like I'm not getting done. Don't do it. Do the street, but it's like I'm the chosen one. I'm trying to join the 27 club. Coke till my nose bleeds. Sip coke till I'm on team. Run a motherfucker in the nosebleeds. Smoking dope where they won't see. I'ma do coke till my nose bleeds. Sip coke till I'm on team. I'm a motherfucker in the nosebleeds. Smoking dope where they won't see. I smoke blunts, I don't give a fuck. Black sludge, building in my lungs. Stay alive, easier said than done. Fuck life, I'm gonna die young. I just like making it more fun. Damn right, I do this stuff for none. That's tight, but shit make you feel dumb. Sneeze white with a little bit of blood. Consume tight, I do what I want. Rest right, swishing in my cup. When it makes it right, I put it up. I take flight, down the lane I never come. I don't know whether to write or press my tempo to a gun. Do it. I don't really wanna fight, I feel like I'm not getting done. Don't do it. With a strength, but it's like I'm the chosen one. I'm trying to join the 27 club. Coke till my nose bleeds. Sip coke till I'm on team. Run a motherfucker in the nosebleeds. Smoking dope where they won't see. I'ma do coke till my nose bleeds. Sip coke till I'm on team. I'm a motherfucker in the nosebleeds. Smoking dope where they won't see. Smoke blunts, I don't give a fuck. Black sludge, building in my lungs. Stay alive, easier said than done. Straight up, fuck life, I'm gonna die young. I just like making it more fun. Damn right, I do this stuff for none. That tight, but shit make you feel dumb. Sneeze white with a little bit of blood. Consume tight, I do what I want. Rest right, swishing in my cup. When it makes it right, like I take flight like down the land I never come. I don't know whether to write or press my tempo to a gun. I don't know whether to fight, but I feel like I'm not getting done. But it's like I'm the chosen one. I'm trying to join the 27 club. Here I come, 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 here I come.
I was pretty like, man, I wonder what he's gonna say about this. What's Dan gonna think?
We in the zone, no telling where it's got us going. No going home, things change, gotta seize the moment and own it, yeah. Tell me how you hype, just say so. Man, I'm living life, I don't lay low. Brought some weapons and I guess I bring a payload. Shocking out of anybody in my way, whoa. Tell the devil I'll be back to get my halo. Till then the motherfucker better stay home. All the power that I hold is finna blow the roof off. Any place I bring a mic, I might take souls. Back up, this shit is real as it gets though. Flow cold, dead nice like a headstone. Rappers popping up, I make them vanish like presto. Stop, drop and roll, I make a fire just to get smoke. Life ain't living it in luxury, nah. But I'm someone they all wanna be, yeah. Guess the saying that I must just be the next best thing to ever come and touch the scene, whoa. Man, I make a wave like Poseidon. Soon enough you gonna see me with the trident. King in my blood until the day I stop rhyming. Which will be never cause my intelligence climbing. Look, y'all been irrelevant, better settle with bars. 16's off, rip like I'm a veteran dog. I've been better than many, stepping in the middle to spar. I feel a little me ain't literally a star. We in the zone, no telling where it's got us going.
doubt about that. Power for the moving and we bring it right back. Like I'm just going pedal to the metal in the fast life. Hoping that you get up on the way before a crash, right? Telling me that I'ma get it whenever the right time comes. But they will never be ready for that when I hype my buzz. I've been living alone and I'm feeling like I'm in the zone right now. So close to blowing up like I'm the bomb right now. Whoa. Checking for the team get big. We all know doubt been on that heat wave shit. Everything we do has been a banger for your ears. Perfect melodies, we hungry so we eat that shit. Making waves at a rapid pace, I can pass the days. But talking crafty words to the crazy pattern for accolades. We have the greats and that'll be that. I'm just here to have the stage and rap to y'all what I've written and thought over the passing days. But it's plain and in vain to the whole game knowing that my pain and my game be the same thing showing. With my name be the thing that they all speak, hoping that I say every page, leave no line left open. I'm a G.O.D., you just a D.O.G. I keep my shit low key until the beat O.D. I'm in the Z.O. and E until I throw in the key. Just keep on throwing the heat, they know me, cause we
in the zone. No telling where it's got us going. No going home. Things change, gotta seize the moment. And own it, yeah. We in the zone. No telling where it's got us going. No going home. Things change, gotta seize the moment. And own it, yeah.
God walks down.
Straight. Let's go. Creep inside of mine without a guided light. Twin blades on me, I can teach them how to proper slice. Master a ceremony, show them how to rock a mic. Balls around your neck, I can show you how to rock a pipe. Right? This real life with a little spike. Nah, this real life with a little hype. I'm a little dog, but the ball got a bigger bite. Running around the town at 2 GM, play a fuck your life. Lights. Camera action on the scene. With y'all it's like a movie, bunch of actors on the team. I am Freddy, I attack and keep attacking in your dreams. Verbs pressing is lucky, don't want action with the team. If he did, luck's about that action for the green. We them underground goons, going ratchet with the beam. Check the scheme, I am mean. You don't want me full of steam. This a warning shot for anyone who wanted with this heat. Go. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for that bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip.
Y'all niggas really on your pivot, huh? But you don't understand the way that I be trippin'. Nah, I got the stove jumping, nigga, from the way I'm whipping. I try not to fall, cause I know they want me slipping. Drunk, broke in the alley, somewhere, bottle sipping. Speaking of drunk, are you seeing all the balls I'm hitting? Get a taste of that money and start acting different. I've been to jail, now I'm back and it's back to business. Hope my niggas get parole, interrupt the sentence. Played my role, now you see me coming out the trenches. Starting 5, I was seeing niggas on the benches. See them niggas dunk, see them niggas swish. Plus my flow stunk, I was on my bullshit. I had to pop the trunk, now I'm on my goon shit. Yeah, little nigga, let me make this clear. Check reviews 18, that is rated R, yeah. Haters,
these haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip. I think it's time to tell you that your time is up. Name a movement out here that can rhyme with us. You shine, we bust, she fine, we fuck. Ain't no I inside a team, but her eyes I trust. Whoa, whoa, so why you hating with your hating ass? To feed the fame, I turn to crime like I'm Breaking Bad. They all laugh, but they don't ask. What your life like me? I had to change that path. I was fast lane whipping, wood grain gripping, gully gun rhythm, how I'm trapping in the kitchen. Local loaf bumping, got the sauce god dripping. Mikey Skywalking, he gon' keep the sauce gods living. I am back, heart stopper cardiac. I am cracked to the consumer, how I keep them coming back. I'm a bad batch, they hate, well that's rap. I don't care about opinion, shut your goddamn trap, go. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip.
Below the influence music. Below the influence music. This is not the end. I will live again. This is not the end.
done now. Better man to flee, cause you won't get a hold of me. Sitting on your throne and gonna stop my evil stuff. Bow. Call me Gabriel, a maniac, insanely bold. Keep my name untold, I'm mainly backed by hating soul. This ain't a chapter in the motherfucking story, nor a manufactured puppet taking orders and reporting from a handler. In case you wanna throw down, hit you with a blow, so much force you be below ground. Born a Luciferian, and you know how we roll. Take you to a city inside your mind where every soul is sold. Pray upon your God if you ain't never heard of me. Afraid you have forgotten who dispersed the pain eternally. So call me evil, but the truth remains the same. That I've been casted down to earth, and it's the humans I will reign. I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will live again.
I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will prevail.
I popped a pill and overdose. My heart was still. Looked at the devil in her eyes and told her that I kill. She played a beat and said to prove it, so I went to fill. Each and every single sound I spit, that shit so ill. She mentioned coming to agreement, maybe make a deal. I told her only if it's true, show me what is real. Next thing I know, I see the curtains opening. I'm standing on the stage with all these people screaming, loads of beasts. This ain't a scheme for me to sell for market in this music. This is a story that I tell, so I'll fucking lose it. I go through PTSD every single day. In fact, I need these demons in me so I know what words are lay. I feel the light inside, it glistens. The truth that I provide to keep the hype alive. Are you listening? You should probably pay attention to me. You might need to know these facts so you stay out of the heat. I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will live again.
I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will prevail.
Sometimes I feel like everybody always sleeps on me. The druggies from my past think they defeat, but they got fleets on me. The growth that I've been showing escalated past the gods, but they acting like the druggies have made it up at the top. Fucking bullshit. These weekend motherfuckers ain't growing shit, and you ain't never been seeing these bitches spit like I have been. I created a movement and made it to the underground. Even got neck or another letters chillin' like in my sound. I went from nothing to something, I'm an elitist in the making. All these others are basic, they ain't a prospect of the fame. See, I'm a beast individual, resurrected after death, and all the others are criminals, only flexing cause they left. These motherfuckers are pitiful. Never seen a grown adult stirring up ruckus so literal that they claiming they're the best. Just let me bow my head and pray they lay to rest. I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will live again.
I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will prevail.
I'm a fight. I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will live again.
I'm a fight.
This is not the end.
I'm a fight.
I will prevail.
Believe I have my days without a pot to piss, and independently working with the mind I miss. Individuals separated from the norm and simple. I'm a little bit different, so they call me mental. Never be for the victim, I'm a murder by the rage. Trigger talking with an automatic bucking at their brain. I'm the same to swing things, I murder to maintain. For lame brains that fake things, I let them feel my pain. No need to relate fake with the way to escape fate. The pressure on my plate is opening my gates. Release what they might say with the 40 that I spray. I leave your body reeking like a sin of that Bombay. I got a mind full of hate and sin. I got a 40 cal Glock that I'm packing wind. They bring the competition to the fight that they will win. So I heard the cattle to the battle that I fight to the end.
I'm verbal attacking and trigger totem with the wickedness. My life has got me twisted and it rip up and no feariness. Art, looks ain't a rip them apart. Separate the haters from the ones with the pure hearts. Like a Trojan in battle, searching and seek and destroy. Watch my enemies crumble like the city of Troy. Can blow on like you suckers like a bomb I deploy. And keep my low poison till the time I rejoice. The time amidst, casting like a shadow as I lead you through battle. Soldiers that'll slaughter enemies like cattle. When we're right on you suckers like a snake with the rattle. And inject them with so much venom that they body dismantles. I stay pissed, live with the good to get wicked. Separate the phonies in the game with the quickness. Spreading like the sickness 95 on you bitches. Mythman's a remedy to end all existence.
I put up my syrup, I let my cock in it like a gun. Whenever I gotta tell 'em. Continue giving them up the tip of the tongue. I put up my syrup, I let my cock in it like a gun. Whenever I gotta tell 'em.
Welcome to the mind of a lyrical criminal. From the beginning I was chosen with greatest murder and flows. I'm a sickened individual chemist with syllables. Trigger tongues, breaking anatomy, leaving your brain exposed. See a lot of people chopping, but really ain't got no clarity. I'll tell you one thing, niggas ain't touching Looney's delivery. Hit a motherfucker wanna get a pop and get the water with the choppers. Like I wonder with the elements, I be steady running with the llama. Step up when I press up when the AK's unload. Ambitious with scriptures, I'll take off your dome. Gorilla for Skrilla in the pants I keep chrome. I'm the Iceman with these verses, leave niggas froze. You don't really wanna get it, whatever, really going hard. Get twisted up, leave body parts in the yard. Looney in a name, I got it because I acted. When I finish this, you'll be hooked just like an addict. Hit them with the venom when I get to chopping. You don't want to murder my opponents every bourbon. Now that I have rose and chosen from the gods to build a murk and everything I've spoken. People tell me that I'm gonna win. In the air I'm floating, levitating like Houdini. With this chopping you can be me. Coming quick to pack a war, I mainly fight the enemy. I'm chasing after enemies, I hope they got forgiven me. I have a bigger vision, counting money, never stressing things. Only getting critical, I have to pack a deadly weapon. People dying, bodies dropping everywhere, just know I'm spraying. Never playing, take my music serious like niggas belling. Call a reverend on a tough, you don't try this fucking felon. Run up a kills, I really get to get back my shit to get Dragon Chevy. You don't know me, run up on me, got one murky for the petty situation. Get intense, take his face, rid, no pity. Give you Colorado, trigger tongues, I'ma chop shit down.
I continue giving them up the tip of the tongue. I put up my syrup, I let my cock in it like a gun. Whenever I gotta tell 'em. I continue giving them up the tip of the tongue. I put up my syrup, I let my cock in it like a gun. Whenever I gotta tell 'em.
Yo, what's good, what's good? It's your girl Jade the Nightmare. You're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my man Skippy Acom on Spreaker Podcast Radio Show, bringing you nothing but underground music.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to episode 6 of Uncovering the Underground through Brutal Business Entertainment. We host our show through Spreaker Podcast Radio. I am Skippy Acom, your host this evening. If you are listening to us through the Spreaker Podcast Radio app or through the .com page, you can interact with the show on the chat site there. So if you want to interact with the show, please feel free to do so. Whether you're listening live or after the fact, you can please, if you could, hit that share button. Spread us around. Like I say every episode, the more that you get us out there, the more buzz that we create, the bigger and better things that we can do. I want to thank our sponsors, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel and Brutal Face Apparel, for being our sponsors for the show, for Brutal Business. And if you are listening, check them out. Go to Google and you can search either company, Brutal Face Apparel and Tattooed Scumbag Apparel. Tattooed Scumbag you can check out at tattooedscumbag.com. They got a promotion going on right now, 10% off if you use promo code BBE. Actually, yeah, 10% off, BBE10, excuse me. They throw different promotions with us. So always keep an eye out. Hit me up if you're looking for, what the promo code is each month, and we can get you some savings on some awesome clothing. We got a fun show planned for you this evening, and make sure you stick around. Hit that share button, like I said, get it out to your family and friends, and stick around as we always do in-depth interviews from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Tonight is no different. We have CRX Cross or Cross CRX. I see it go by both, and we have him on the show this evening, and I'm very excited to be able to interview this gentleman and talk to him about not only his hip-hop career, but about being an entrepreneur in the underground scene. He is, just like myself, a little bit involved in everything, and it's very impressive to see the things that his company and he himself have been able to do. So we're very excited to have him on the show and talk about this evening. Without further ado, Cross, what's going on, homie? How's it going, Skippy? What's up, brother? Oh, just chilling, having a good time, getting to getting to talk to fine folks like yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Just a wonderful day with wonderful gentlemen having a sit down with a wonderful public.
That's it, exactly. There's nothing better. In my mind, when I get a chance to kick it with good people and let the fans get to meet someone and hear about them behind the scenes, get to know a little bit more about them as an artist and a person, one of my favorite things to do is, yes, I love making music, but my thing is I love getting other artists out there in the spotlight. That's a passion of mine.
Rock on, man. See, I like that you love it so much because I can definitely agree to that. It's not just hearing my music all the time, but I actually like blending with like-minded businessmen and business ladies. Like, I can tell you one thing. That's one thing I'm very impressed about in this business world is where these ladies are moving right now. So congrats to the ladies right now for sure.
Ladies got a lot of power, and I mean, shout out to all the ladies out there. There's nothing that has to hold you back. Don't feel like you're being held back. You do what you want to do and follow your dreams because there's a lot of very successful, very talented ladies in the scene that are just killing it.
Right, yeah, absolutely, man. But I'm excited to be on the show, and I can't wait to kind of uncover some stuff, man.
No, absolutely. I'm glad to have you on the show. It's been long overdue, but we're glad to be able to get you on, and definitely going to dive a little deep into your mind this evening. Let fans hear a little bit about you and get to know you a little bit better. I'll hit you with some regular interview questions, some odd interview questions, and we'll just have a good time. We'll get to listen to a little bit of your music and share that with the fans, and then talk about some other fun things in the underground right now. Now, why don't you tell us, how did you come up with the name?
So, okay, this is actually a really funny story. So about mid-tour, we were touring with Seth's crew at the time, me and the beginning people with my company. So it was us. We had a group named Poetic Pimps. We had a DJ named DJ Brown Bear. And so we were doing this huge tour with Strange Music. We had been on tour with Stevie Stone beforehand. We did some stuff with Prozac. Now we're on the last day, and I actually had just managed up until that point. So I did all the choreograph. I taught them how to act on stage. I taught them how to talk in public. I taught them, pretty much everything that a great manager is supposed to do. And I hadn't really released a song myself yet. And one of my artists got kind of snippy, if you say, and he's like, "Oh, you're a great manager, but I hate, you don't really know music because you don't even have a song out." And so I was like, "Listen, bro, on whatever song you want to do, I'll do it." So we did the song, and they're like, "Well, you can't have the same name because your name is Cross. My actual name is Cross." And so I was like, "Okay, well, I can't really think of anything for an artist name. I'm still going to go by that. I think it's pretty cool anyway." And one of my guys was like, "Hey, let's just do like a Prince thing, and we made like this symbol of mine. So I have my own symbol. And he was like, just put like CRX, and just like, you still pronounce it Cross, but, you'll be like Prince. It'll be like just the letter.
No, I get it. That's pretty cool, though, man. That's one thing I really like about these shows, and one thing I really like about talking to different artists and getting to pick their brain is how everyone comes about their name, and it's so individually unique each time, and I love it. Because obviously hearing it makes sense. CRX, okay, well, yeah, Cross, it makes sense, but it's funny that you can use your name, and then it's the slash, and it's like almost like it's mirroring itself and vice versa.
Exactly. And the reason why it became funny because I have borderline personality disorder. And so the guys thought it was funny as hell because they're like, "Hey, you can be CRX and then the other you can be Cross."
Okay.
And I was like, "You know what? Whatever, bro. Let's just do it. Put it down." And the fans loved it. The fans lost their mind. There are actually a lot of people in this industry who just referred to me as CRX. And I always have to tell people, I'm like, "No, it's still pronounced Cross. It's just, spelled out differently."
I got you. No, it makes sense. And that's why I love it. Like I said, I mean, it's always individual, it's always unique, and it's always personal. And mine's even a weird one, and I'm not going to go into it tonight, but I always have people say, "Where did you come up with that name?" And I'm like, well, I'll sit down for a minute.
I was going to ask you, too. I was trying to go backwards and forwards. I thought it was kind of like, the red rum thing. And so I'm like trying to spell shit. I'm like, what the hell is his name?
No, it's going to be, I'll tell it real quick. So I was dating a girl many, many years ago, and this was when I was young. I was only a teenager. I was like, maybe 16, 17 years old. And I'd already been rapping for years, but mainly I rapped it as a side thing to my metal band. I was very involved in a very good metal band for a long time. and I just rapped for fun.
Gotcha.
And I was a guitar player and backup vocals, and it's what I did. And we were called Souls of Ares. And our singer now actually is the professional death metal vocalist for Rings of Saturn, which is a world-renowned death metal band. They're taking over the planet right now. That was our vocalist of our band. And we did a lot with the metal and loved it. And we, you know, played other cities and played, you know, that's where I got my roots and my starting ground. But I would always rap on the side. Well, I started to get a little bit more involved in it as I got older, you know, because I started when I was around 12, same time I started playing guitar. And then, you know, when I got about 16 or so, I started pushing the rap a little bit more. And I was dating a girl, and I used to fuck around with her all the time and just say crazy shit to her. And I was like, I have an evil space cricket that lives inside my brain. And I said, he tells me to do things, and I have to obey him. And she was laughing her ass off, and she's like, oh, yeah? And I was being very serious about it to try to spook her out a little bit. And I was like, no, he's always been there. I said, he always tells me what to do. And I'm like, it scares me sometimes. She's looking at me like I'm just being a goofball. And then she's like, oh, yeah, what's his name? I said, his name's Skippy Ickham. And it was instant. Like, I didn't create that name. When she asked it just came out. I said, his name's Skippy Ickham. Okay. I said, and he's been that part of me that's always been there. I said that I try to pretend doesn't.
That's what's up.
And she like looked at me all of a sudden like I was nuts. And then I started laughing. I'm like, I'm just fucking with you, babe. I was like, I don't know where that all came from. And then my stepbrother was there, and he said, yo, what did you just call yourself? And I said, I don't even know. He said, did you say Skippy Ickham? And I was like, I think I did. He said, where'd that come from? I said, oh, I have no idea. I mean, I said, it came out so naturally that even though I was joking around about it always being there, I said, it's almost like it was always there. And he said, yo, you got to call yourself that for your rap music. And I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man, that's kind of a fucking oddball, weird thing. He's like, that's the point, man. He says, no one would ever have that. It is weird. He says, but it is you. You are kind of a weirdo, and I am. And he's like, you should take on that name. And that's where it all came from many, many moons ago.
That is awesome. See, I love that. I love that. That's natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just meant to be your name.
No, I agree. That was probably 16 years ago or so, and it's been a hell of a ride, man. I've done a lot of fun things in the scene over the years, and as have you, and it's been a good thing, and it becomes so personal that even though it is kind of a goofy, quirky type, you know, strange thing, I'm Skippy Ickham, and I embrace that. I love it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I like that.
It's like you said, though, too. It's almost like a split personality almost, because it's like he's a whole different dude than me.
Yeah, and see, that was the thing. Like, for me, I wanted to embrace it. You know, especially having worked so much with like strange music and, you know, like the Juggalo scene, what I learned the most is that our community is just so welcoming, you know, and there are so many people out there with just ridiculous amounts of mental diseases and quirks and funny things. And our community is so welcoming to it. You know, it was like I wanted the fans to really, you know, have that coming right out the gate. Like, hey, bam, like, this is what I am embracing, that this is me and not me, you know?
No, that makes sense. I mean, you do got to kind of embrace it. You just got to kind of make one with it.
Yeah, you do. You have to.
That's awesome, though, man. I mean, you know, definitely, you know, something that I've embraced myself, you've embraced. And as you said, there's a lot of people within the scene that, you know, you would never guess it. You know, a lot of people talk about juggalos and talk about the strange music fans and things like that, all these weirdos. The thing is, if you do dive deep into the crowds that are at these shows, they are usually some of the nicest people ever. Now, are they people that could potentially snap at any moment and probably kill you? Absolutely. But at the same time, if you don't fuck with them, there's no really reason for them to ever do that. So you go to a show, it's nothing but love. It's no different than if you go to some jam band festivals and you're just kind of vibing out with everybody. Or if you go to a metal show, usually people are pretty cool, but people kind of put a stigma on juggalos and on underground fans of like underground wicked hip hop. And it's strange to me because usually they're the nicest people you ever meet. You still with me out there? I think we might have lost Cross for a minute. We're going to give him a call back. Might be having some technical difficulties.
There we go.
And we got you back. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what happened there. I was talking and you were gone, but I got you back on the air. Sorry about that, folks. A little bit of technical difficulties we're having there. But no, as I was saying, it's you know, something that there's a stigma about the juggalos. And I don't want to just use juggalos as juggalos, because I mean, it goes for all Wicked Underground fans. But it's funny because, as I said, they are normally the nicest people you'll ever meet. think for some reason we lost Cross again. He might be having some problems with his call connection. We're gonna try him one more time. Apologize, guys.
There we go. Are you there?
Okay, there we go. We dropped you again. As long as you're there, I think we're good.
Absolutely.
But, why don't you tell us a little bit? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what was? And it doesn't have to be necessarily the first show that you've ever done, but what is the? I guess you could say the first memorable. So if you're looking back, what is the one show that you look at it was a first for you, where you're like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, this is what makes me want to do it. Or what was the first show that you ever just in general played? It can be either.
Well, I think for me, my most honestly memorable show was on the Rolling Stone tour with Stevie Stone. That was, we did, what was it? I think we did 4 days. It was Grand Junction, Denver, Greeley, and Colorado Springs. And we had sold out about, 250 something tickets, just my crew. So just us, so just my crew, man, sold about 250 tickets. It was just the best turnout for us. And then on top of that, it was a sold out show too for all the concerts. And so we had the Strange Music street team up front, and it was the Denver show. And I remember talking to them before the show. I talked to Strange Music's people. This happened to be one of those days that Travis O'Gwen himself was actually in the building. So me and Travis got a chance to talk, and I had talked to him and his booking agent into letting our people on stage, because we had helped with a lot. We helped set up, we helped with, carrying stuff and their merch tables and selling merch and the whole 9 yards. And so they said that, so Tech Nine and all of them have an ending. They always do the group ending song. They normally close out with either Colorado, the weed smoking song, or they close out with I'm a Player. And so since this one was with Stevie Stone and everything, and Tech wasn't at the show, they were like, cool, they're going to close out with the Colorado Dope song. And so that's Stevie Stone, Seth's crew, Cut Calhoun, just a lot of guys on that. And they were all at this concert. Now, the Strange Music street team, they loved us. And we've been working with them for years. And shout out also to the Strange Music Denver street team. They've been mad supporters of ours since day one. And one of the guys, Richie is his name. At the time, he was one of the street team heads. He's like, bro, I would love to join you guys on stage. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. You guys have been amazing. You guys have been promoting and pushing for us and everything. So absolutely, let's do it. You guys will come on stage with us too. So you got all of Strange Music's people. You got all of my camp and all of our people. Then you got all the people that I went ahead and said okay to. And so we hit in stage and we're doing our thing, and we're joining them for the last song, and our set's right before that. And we gracefully got that as well. We got a chance to be like the act right before the Strange Music acts. And so we're up there, and they were up there for our set, and you hear the entire crowd start screaming my company's name, and they're just going ADG, 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 and just as far as the eye can see from the back to the front, they're just screaming our name. And I tell you, I almost lost it right there on stage. And just even thinking about it, nowadays, it still makes me weak. It still makes me, shiver. It was that moment. Yeah, it was just that moment when you're like, man, this really means something to these people. These people really accept me, and that was that moment in that tour for me.
And that's it, man. And you just gotta embrace those moments, because they're few and far between. I mean, I play a lot of shows, and there's a lot of great times. I have fun every single show I play, and every time I'm out and doing a gig. But there's certain ones that you stand on stage and you're just like, wow, this is amazing. And you mentioned Tech Nine. It's kind of funny. So you're fucking around with Strange Music artists, and that was one of the moments for me. Is last year I got to open for Tech Nine, and it was here at Stage AE in Pittsburgh, and I remember coming on, and the lights dimmed, and we were the act right. There was only ever one opener in Pittsburgh when they come through, and we were that opener.
Rock on, okay.
And we came out, and the lights went dim, and I remember grabbing the mic, and I was like, "What the fuck's up, Pittsburgh?" And then the building just erupted, and it was the loudest I'd ever heard any fans that I've ever played in front of.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
I
yeah,
wasn't even out in front of them seeing them yet. I was standing behind the curtain, and it was a really cool moment because right before, I think I talked about this on one of the other shows briefly. Right before me and Ghost the Demented, who's on my label, it was the two of us performing. Right before we went out, he went over to do something at the soundboard, and I heard the back door behind me, and I turned around, and Tech Nine's standing there. And I was like, "Oh," I said, "Hey, what's up, Tech? Mad respect, bro." I said, "Thanks for having us on the show." And he said, "Go fucking kill it."
Oh, yeah.
That's all he said. And I was like, "Hell yeah, bro." And I turned around for a second to see where Chris was. And I turned back around, and he was gone like a fucking ninja. And I'm like, I thought maybe I was tripping out for a second. I'm like, all right, cool. We went out and we killed it. And we had a great fucking time. It was a great show. It was one of those memorable moments where I have actually played in front of a bigger crowd than that before. But that was the loudest I ever heard of the crowd. And it was one of the most proud achievements that I had as far as playing. I played with a lot of headliners in a lot of different towns and cities and things. But for some reason, in my own hometown, Stage AE, Tech Nine, it was the moment.
See, it's funny that you mentioned that, because the first time I met Tech, it was kind of the same thing. I was a younger guy. It was the Fire and Ice tour here in Colorado. They were doing a stop here in Colorado, and it was the first time that I was going to see Tech live. I had just kind of become a juggalo and got into our lifestyle, and I was super young. And I'm at the gate, and I remember I was with my these girls, and I forgot my freaking ID. So I had no identification. I forgot my wallet, so I had no money. And I just started flipping out. And I'm like shaking the gate, and like Denver cops roll up, and they're like, "Dude, I need you to calm down." I'm like, "No, I gotta see Tech. I'm gonna lose it." And this really huge, tall, big guy comes around dressed in just all red from head to toe. And he's like, hey, Ninja, come here. Whoop, whoop. Hey, come here, bro. I was like, what up, bro? Like, these niggas, they won't let me in. Fuck these pigs, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I need you to calm the fuck down. If you don't calm down, I can't talk to you. And I was like, all right, I'm calm. So he pulls me aside. He's like, listen, I got you on the hatchet. I'm going to get you inside. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. And we're at the Fillmore. We're talking like one of his huge shows here in Denver. And I'm like, okay. So he runs out, dips out for like 5-10 minutes. He comes back, opens the side door, gets me in. Bam. I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. I'm about to get inside. Soon as I get inside the door, Tech Nine is standing right there. And my boy reaches over. He's like, hey man, this is the kid I was telling you about. He like was gonna flip over the fence outside, bro. So we gotta get him in. And Tech was just like, he pulls off one of his chains, one of those old dog chains he used to have. And he pulls it. He's like, hey, here, wear this. He gives me a VIP pass. He's like, hey, here, put this on. Go upstairs real quick and just have a drink. Tell them it's on me. And as soon as I turned around, I looked at the stairs. I looked up, turned back. Tech was gone.
That must be his thing, man. I'm telling you. Like I said, I seen everybody that night. So like when we got to the show, I seen Chris Calico, I seen King ISO, I seen King Cash, I seen Joey Cool, and there was one other one, I can't think of who it was. I seen them all walking around, hanging out. That wasn't a big thing. I kind of had talked to them in passing. I talked to King ISO, which I actually have a track with on my last album, and they were all the headliners, and the only person I didn't see was Tech for like hours. Yeah. And I didn't think I was going to get to it. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm playing with this dude. I'm not even going to get to see him. And then right before we get ready to walk on, like a 30-second countdown, and all of a sudden I hear a door. I turn around. It's just me and him in the back of the stage. No one else around. It's dark. And he's like, go fucking kill it. And I was like, I will, bro. Hell yeah. I turned around, like I said, to see where Chris was, turned back. And I didn't hear the door again. I don't even understand what he did.
Yeah, like you don't hear anything. He just disappears.
That's Tech is a ghost.
Yeah, maybe that's one of the things. Maybe that's a known Tech thing.
The Tech Nine spirit.
Yeah. Like he
maybe that's what he was talking about in the song. This is the Tech Nine experience. Maybe that's it. Like I'm gonna pop up on you. I'm gonna starstruck you, and then I'm gonna vanish. That's funny shit. But
yeah. No, I think that's definitely it. That's kind of his thing.
But well, cool. No, that's kind of funny. We have similar stories as far as our favorable moments. How about what's one of your? You don't have to go in depth. I don't want to if there's problems with anybody, you don't have to obviously say names or anything. But what's the worst concert you've ever had? What was the one that you went to and you're just like, God damn, this whole thing is falling apart. This is fucking garbage. Why did I even come here?
The worst concert, Jesus, the worst.
That's a tougher question than the best.
The worst. Okay, no, I have one. So I'm doing a show. I can't even remember who the promoter was, but I'm doing a show with what is his name? God, he's a huge artist. He sings that song about like when we had the black president, Jeezy.
Okay.
Yeah. So Young Jeezy or whatever his name is. So we're doing a show with Jeezy. The promoter comes out. He talks a whole big game. It's a real, kind of a cool turnout. And what ends up happening is like a complete bust. Like the owner of the club wants to shut the show down because people don't have IDs. People are inside the venue in corners smoking cigarettes. They didn't really have like alcohol ready. And so like by the time people started showing up, the alcohol was like running out. They weren't stocked. There were like piles of like gang members just hanging out outside, and there was a beef going on. So somebody was out there arguing. And then sometime during the show, there was an actual drive-by.
So it just altogether was not good.
Right. Yeah, no. Altogether, either way, it was just one of the worst shows ever.
I've had a few of those myself. I don't know if I've had any. I haven't had any. Haven't had any shows that have had a drive-by happen to them yet. But I was supposed to play a club here in Pittsburgh, and it was a brand new club. It opened up. I got asked to play the show, and I was set to play the show. And the week before I was to play there, several people were leaving the club, and someone lit them up from across the street. And it was the week before I was supposed to play there, and they shut it down.
Jesus.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, thank fucking God I didn't play this show because they didn't know the motive behind it. It was random as fuck. So I'm like, that could have been my ass walking out the steps for no reason at this new ass club, fucking gunned down for dumb shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? I am thankful I didn't play that one. It was set for failure from the get-go.
Yeah. I see that I understand. I hate shows like and it's really hard for shows like that to I guess remember sometimes, but like it just leaves such a bad taste in your mouth. You're like, I'm good.
Well, a really bad one for me would be we went to kind of funny. My old band was a heavy metal band. We played like heavy metal, death metal, and we were asked to play a college for a frat party, or not even a frat party, but like just a college party with a bunch of kids at it. And, it was at a Christian college. And you would figure if someone comes to you and asks you to perform on a show, they most likely know about you. They're fans of you. That's why they want you to be there.
Exactly.
Well, my band goes there. We plug in. There's other bands on the show, and they're all like emo ska type bands, which when we heard, we're like, oh shit, we're nothing like this. Like, hopefully they know what they got into, and they hired us. Whatever. We go on, we start playing. Well, they gave us the shortest microphone cords ever. So we were like crunched together, shoulder to shoulder, trying to play our set, and like the mics were in inopportune fucking places you couldn't get to. It was a small room, you could barely move. The crowd didn't seem like they were digging it at all, and then like 3 songs into it, they just shut us off.
Jesus.
And they're like, thank you guys so much. Everybody give it up for Souls of Aries. And like 3 people clapped, and we're looking at each other and looking at them like, what the fuck? And they're like, all right, thank you everybody for coming out tonight, blah, blah, blah. And we walk over and we're like, what the hell? They're like, oh, well, the show got so late that we had to cut the time on it. They're like, we have like a sound ordinance here and we have to be very strict on it. And I'm like, so we just drove a couple hours to come and play 3 songs, horrible songs because of the way you set us up, and then you cut us.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, sorry about that, man. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming out. You have a good night.
Wow. Did you guys
And
ever
like
go
me and
back?
my other four guys are like looking at each other like, what the fuck? And then the weird thing is, like after they shut us off and like they pretended like they were our friends. The one kid's like, hey man, if you want to come back and party, he's like, that would be cool, man. We would love to have you guys come back. And it was so funny because there were these dorky fucking Christian kids who apparently never partied before, and there was like probably 17 kids there, and they asked like the five of us to stay. So you're talking 23 people, and he's like, hey bro, we got a case of beer. You want to come party? And I'm like, what? You got what? And he's like, we got a case of beer, man. He's like, it's gonna get crazy. You want to come party? And there's like 23 of us.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, man, we're gonna pass. We're gonna go home now. Thanks for a horrible fucking evening. And we got in and went home. And we're kind of like we're silent and somber on the way home because we're kind of kicking ourselves in the ass because we knew better.
Right.
I'm like, we're gonna go play death metal at a Christian college at some weird party with a bunch of punkish / ska / like emo style bands. I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna go well, but we still did it. And guess what? It was a massive failure.
See, with me, it's kind of backwards because I do very clean music. So, and most of my songs, minus Ask Me to Stop, and most of my songs, I actually don't cuss in any of my music and everything. So there's been a couple shows that I've booked with like hardcore rap. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like gutter rap. And then I've done a bunch of like horrorcore shows. And then I've done a bunch of like hardcore rock and metal shows. And I tell you, the first couple songs in, they're like, what the hell is going on? And it's just such a different dynamic because I'll come in and I have this mask on and it's just all complete like rock and juggalo. And then bam, out of my mouth, you hear all this positive and all this Christian. And you're like, dude, soak. And then by the end of the concert, by the end of my show, we're rocking out. There's guitars on stage. We're doing Rise Up. Everyone's like, what the hell just happened?
That's awesome. That's the way it should be. And like that's what we expected. When we went out there, we're like, okay, you know what? So what? It's a bunch of kids at a Christian college. They're gonna rock out. We're gonna have a good time. And it was like when we came on, the entire crowd just looked at us like, what is these devils doing here? And I'm looking around. I'm like, we're just playing heavy music. Our music really wasn't. It didn't have a lot of cussing in it. Honestly, I don't think there was any swearing in any of the metal music we had, and it was just extremely heavy. But it was very well written lyricism, and they just weren't having it though. They heard the heaviness of it, and they were like, "This is demonic. This is bad." And I knew that was the case because they tried to use the sound ordinance, and they literally just cut us. They're like, "Thanks,
okay.
You have a good night." And then they're like, "Oh, but by the way, if you want to come drink 3 drinks out of 1 beer, you can do that." Like, man, them 3 drinks will fuck me up, bro. I don't think I should.
Right, yeah. You know what? I'd say it's not a sip night. I can't do it. But, we'll talk to you a little later.
It was just funny because they were excited. I mean, they had a case of beer. Like, it was like, it must be like, they must be really strict at this college. Like, if they catch you with a case of beer, the sniper tower, the guy up in the tower is taking you down.
That was like their golden freaking like horse right there. That was their golden ticket. They're like, man, we got some beer. Okay, we can only have it for 2 hours. That's it.
Well, you know it's secret whenever they talk in normal tones until they get, they're like, hey man, so if you want to stay around afterwards, we got some beer. And I'm like, what'd you say? And he's like, yeah, so we're just all going to hang out and drink some beer. And then, we'll just, talk a little bit and things will get pretty crazy because we love when we get beer. It was like, he kept being secretive about it. And I'm like, all right, bro, you're old enough to drink. Why are you...
Right, that's when you start asking others, like, can I see your ID, actually?
Well, what we end up finding out afterwards is this is a dry, I guess what they refer to as a dry town, meaning you're not allowed to have alcohol there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So that's what it was. So when we left and we were like, we said it to one of our fans afterwards, we're like, we got shafted bad as fuck the other night. I'm like, from this Christian college. I'm like, they straight shunned us. And we were kind of joking around about it. Someone said, what college was it? And we told them, and they said, well, that's a dry town, right? And I said, well, I don't understand what you mean. And they're like, it's a dry town. There's no beer there. I'm like, well, I kind of got that when the kid acted like it was fucking gold. And, and he said, no, man. He's like, that means like they don't have beer there at all. He said, they're not allowed to have beer there. They don't drink beer. He's like, that's like so if they had it, that probably was like a rare thing for them. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Gotcha. Jesus.
Like, that's very interesting. It's
Wow.
like when the Amish get to do Rumspringa and they have like that they get that go out and go crazy for a little bit.
See, I couldn't mess around with it. I would love to do an Amish show though. I'm like because my music's right there in the middle, of just complete like will shun you out of town to maybe you're talking about God. Like I would love to play my music for some Amish people.
See, no, right there, Cross is the reason I do this show because every show I usually get some type of hashtag, hash line, tagline, some type of saying that's from that show, and that's tonight's right there. Is
Yeah,
my dream
Amish.
is to play in front of a room full of Amish.
Yeah, play for Amish. That's my
I
new
think that
goal.
would be awesome. Like you walk out in the one room schoolhouse.
Oh my
There's like
God.
horses in the back grazing.
Instead of clapping, you hear bristles of brooms rustling.
Exactly. That's sweet. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen. You
Uh,
know what I might do? I don't think the actual Amish would like it very much, but I should set up a show and everyone. The only way you get in is if you dress Amish.
yeah. Dude, I do it. Day one, I wear Amish whole outfit and my mask. It'll be
Thing
amazing.
is, a couple real ones would show up. They'd sneak in. We would never see them in the crowd, and they'd beat the fuck out of all of us.
That or they'd help us build a barn. Like
Or we'd build the sturdiest damn stage we've ever played on.
yeah. So I mean, I
They
think
made
we
out
get
of
a
like
lot done.
3/4 inch solid oak.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my! Getting back on track here. So, what is your favorite collab that you've done, and what is the collab that you dream of doing?
Ooh. So let's see. Well, right now, I would have to say my favorite is the one that I'm currently working on with Heretic Click.
Okay.
I They are an amazing duo, super huge. They're definitely making a lot of noise on the underground. They're on my playlist on a repeat. Like I listen to these guys getting up in the morning sometimes, and they gracefully are doing two verses on my brand new song. It's me, them, my wife, and DJ Wiz from Wu Tang.
Okay.
So we're gonna have Wu Tang, we're gonna have Heretic Click. My wife's gonna be on this song. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Thus far, I would have to say that's my favorite.
No, that's awesome. So you're currently making it, so no one's even heard it yet. So it's like now you get to tease them a little bit. Now everybody's saying, "Well, shit, I want to hear that."
See,
And you're not going to
and I
get to. You got to
kind
wait
of
for it.
did. We had a show a little while ago, a few days ago, and getting ready for that show, I sat down overnight, and just answered a bunch of questions and kind of sat down with the fans and stuff. It was kind of late, but I went ahead and released one of the verses from one of their guys from Heritage Click on that song. So if anybody listening caught that or was listening that day, then that's actually where that song is right now.
No, that's great. So they got a little bit of a teaser snippet before they ultimately get the song, but they have to wait for it a little bit. I like to tease the fans like that as well. As I give them a little bit of a dose of something, and then I make them wait.
And these guys' verse, man, is like their talent is amazing. I think they're really gonna take this album and this song to that next level that I'm really looking. This next album is just gonna be fucking crazy ridiculous.
And that's the thing and that's the way it needs to be. And you always have to try to find a way that you can outdo yourself each and every album. So, if you're doing the best album that you've ever done right now up to date, then that means the next one you're going to have to find a way to outdo this one. But not
Yeah,
necessarily
exactly.
I don't want to necessarily say beat this album, but beat it in a different way because my albums I feel are all my children and they're all amazing and I love them all. But each
See,
one of them
same
is
thing.
incredible in its own right. And I keep
Yes.
outdoing myself, but in a different way, if that makes sense.
No, it makes that's I think the best explanation I've heard thus far, other than myself explaining it, because that's what it's like. It's like these are your kids, that's my baby, and as it matures and as it grows, you gotta water it, you gotta discipline it, when bad things and good things happen, you gotta treat it the appropriate manner, and then you gotta up it and like okay, bam, so this one you're doing great, you're making A's, A's and B's. Let's go for the next report card and let's see if we can just do all A's. And that's that
Exactly. I mean,
album that's gonna be all platinum.
and that's it's just honestly like look at it like having kids itself because you have your first child and you learn from that first child, and that child learns
Right.
from you, obviously. By the time you have your second one, you're kind of a little bit more versed. You get a little bit better at it. You're like, okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this. You have your third, and then you're like, okay, I got this at this point. The first one was good. It's a good kid. I love my first kid, but it was a little bit of a rough time. We had to learn together. My third one, things are smoother. It's just, so you don't love any of them more than another, but each one you get a little bit better at the job of having kids or being a parent. It's almost like with the music is each album you're like, well, I'm going to get a little bit better as an artist, as someone behind the scenes with the mixing and mastering or being involved in that. Each step I'm going to get a little bit better and knowledgeable at. I'm going to get better at promo. So every album should continue to grow because you as an artist continue to grow.
Fucking exactly, man. That is literally it. That is literally it.
It's the mentality. Not a lot of people have, and we've talked about this prior to the show starting, is the fact that I think me and you are very similar on a lot of pages of how we think about the underground, the business behind it. And what's cool is me and you were opposite though at the same time, because as you've already told us, you started out as a manager, as a promoter, as someone behind the scenes who ultimately then became an artist.
Right.
I started out as an artist who always was a business mind, but I was also an artist. So I did the artist side, and I started as I got bigger to add on with the business and grow the business. So we're very similar in the same regard of how we think and how we do business, and having multi facets of ways of releasing our artistic endeavors. But we're also very different in the fact of how we became the same thing. And it's kind of cool how that works.
No, that's very true, man. And that's one thing I've actually appreciated about doing business with you and growing since we've talked, it's very similar in the fact that you understand that the business has to be as high, if not higher, than everything else. I told an artist recently, I was like, it's honestly about 70% of it is your business. You got about 30% of that's your performance, your entertaining, and how you act and behave, and then that last like 5-10% is your actual music. But it's how you present it first that really is kind of based on where you're going to go.
No, exactly. You have to have a good plan in place. You have to know how to promote yourself, market yourself, get yourself out there. And as you said, you have to know how to look, how to talk, how to be. I don't want to say the character because I'm very much who I am, but it also at the same time is very much a character for all of us. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter if you're Stevie Stone, you're Tech Nine, you're Prozac. It don't matter, anyone that was mentioned earlier. They are a person and they're also an artist and are mostly the same person, but there are some differences between there. And when I'm at a show and I'm still me, but I'm also Skippy Ickham, so I talk a certain way and I treat situations a certain way as a business mind as an artist, because you have to make sure that at all times you're professional, because at all times you are a walking representation of your business. So
very true.
It's not just Cross walking around. It's not just Skippy Ickham walking around. It's 80 Generations walking around. It's Brutal Business walking around.
Exactly. That is exactly it.
And that's it. So you have to. So it's more about those things, as you said. It's about who you portray, how you act, and then ultimately at the end, you want to be a pretty dope ass artist, but you can be the greatest artist in the world, and if you don't know how to market yourself and push yourself, and if you're an asshole, you're never getting anywhere.
Yeah. Period.
But at the same token, you can be the shittiest trash artist ever and be a genius at business and how you present yourself to people, and you get huge.
Everywhere. Oh,
Case in point, every rapper you hear now.
Right. Right.
That's in the mainstream doing big things. 90% of them, I should say, they are not good, folks. You know that, or maybe you don't, because most of you are getting down to their music. But it's mainly the fact that they fooled you on how they portray themselves and show themselves, how they do business. They're smart and savvy with that, but not great artists. And other great artists don't know how to market themselves. But every now and again, you find those hidden gems in between that know how to do both. And they don't want those people usually to get big, because they get too powerful at that point. You got to watch with the power that you have with your music.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because that's what it is. When our music essentially, especially for some people, kids, It just kind of depends. But I know me personally, a lot of people reach out to me about different songs, and whatever that message is, that's sometimes, unfortunately, how children are raised, how people react, how people think. And yeah, the music now, that's just a big shitload stain of garbage.
Steaming pile of garbage.
Yeah.
It really is, man. I mean, I'm not going to name any names because I don't try to take away from any credit. If you're out there and you're doing your thing and you're creating art and you're passionate about it, even if you are garbage and you're passionate about being garbage, I'm cool with that, man, because you're doing your thing.
And
You be a
that's one
passionate
thing
pile
you
of
got to
garbage,
give
all right?
some of
That's
us.
another quote from tonight. Just go ahead and be a passionate pile of garbage. But as long as you're passionate about it, I'm cool. It's if you're only leeching off the scene and you're just making garbage music, have some people backing you a little bit, and you're just trying to make as much money as you can as quick as you can, and you're coming and leeching off my community and my scene, then I got in my culture, I got a problem with that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, I'm with you.
And there's too many culture vultures out there, man, that just come in, they swoop in, make a couple million, and they swoop out, and they don't realize that the path of destruction that they leave behind stays for a while. It lingers, and the scene of hip hop right now on a grand scale of what the main mass majority in population see is fucking trash. And I'm not one of those people who say hip hop's dead because that's just stupid. Hip hop's not dead. Hip hop will always live and breathe in the underground. It will forever be cemented in the underground. But most of that is not seen or can be seen because if they know that they can make millions off of Little Yachties and 21 Savages and shit like that, and you know what? Some people could say, wow, you're name dropping. I did name drop on those ones because, you know what? Some people like it. And I, if that's their thing, that's no problem. Them guys need to do them, and I'm cool with that.
But they know they're garbage. I've seen interviews with these guys, and Yachty's definitely one of them. You know what I'm saying? They have literally asked the man, hey, do you know? And he was like, no, absolutely. Listen, man, this is my promoter told me to do this. Some agents told me to do this, and I said, oh, the fucking K. Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? There is no passion in their music. There's no message. For me, every ounce, every song to me it's a part of my life, is a way I've expressed myself, or asked me to stop in particularly. That was the first part of that wasn't even supposed to be a song. I was recording myself. I was having a mental breakdown and literally just was like, okay, I wonder what it sounds like, because I had a couple arguments with an ex of mine, and they're like, you're a really huge asshole, when you're getting to that mode. And so I wanted to record it. I was like, hell yeah, let's find out. And I went back and I listened to it and started writing a song about how I felt listening to myself, And so for me, every song means something to me. These artists out here these days are yada, 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 skirt, skirt, skirt. And I'm telling you, if I hear another skirt in a song, bro, I'm going to lose my mind.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. You hear this shit and I'm just like, you almost wait for Ashton Kutcher to jump out and say that we're being punked in the hip hop scene, but the sad part about it is there is no Ashton Kutcher to jump out.
And see, I was one of those people. That was me. I was like, when it first came out, I was like, whatever, this is garbage. We shouldn't even take this seriously. It's not gonna last for more than a couple of months. Don't worry about it. And sure enough, here we are, 4 or 5 years later, and I just want to kill these kids.
And it's the truth, because if you take passion in your music and you see people that have no lyrics, and I mean, Little Yachty said it himself in an interview, he doesn't care if he says the same word 50 times in a song or 5 different words in a song. If that sells and people are going to groove to it, then he's cool with that. Because they ask him about lyricism. They says, don't you care about being, lyrical and very in depth with your music? And he said, no, if I can say a few different words with a cool beat and people groove to it and I make money off it and we can go rock crowds, he's like, I'm cool with that. And right then and there is when I just sat back and shook my head and said, wow, the integrity is dead. No one cares about being a great artist. They care about making money. They care about, and we've bred ourselves for this though, and that's the problem, is with the culture of social media and likes, and they've proven that every time you get a like and a share and things like that, that it releases dopamine in your brain, and it's almost like a drug. It's a little hit. People see I got a like, oh, I got 20 more likes. Oh my God, I got 20 likes. And it starts breeding us to be these fucking idiots where like all we care about is like what our posts are getting likes on and shares. So it almost makes people like that with artists. Like, well, it would take me 10 times longer to write one good song than it would be to release 10 shit songs. But you know what? Put a cool beat to it and I just put it out and people don't care anymore. It's just about getting stuff out there. It's just about my next big like.
Yep.
Instead of taking the time to do something great, you can just do a bunch of shit. And I don't understand that. And it's like there's still artists out there that have passion in their music, but they're almost promoting. And that's one of the things you got to touch lightly on when you talk is that these record companies, you know, are dangerous and more dangerous than I think anybody even realizes. But we won't speak too in depth on that. But they control the scene. And they push what they want to push, so they can find a little yachty, a guy that maybe never wrote a song in his life, and they can say, hey, we'll make you our puppet on a string. We'll give you several $1 million. We'll make you famous. You say and do whatever we want for the next 8 years.
Yeah, and they're like, where can I sign, man?
Yeah, where can I sign? I ain't got shit going on, man. I'll be whoever the fuck you tell me to be Pogo the Clown. I'll paint my face up. I'm ready to roll.
So I'll drink some lean to that.
You want me to eat Tide Pods? I'll eat those Tide Pods. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the culture we live in. It's like we've actually set forth the winds of change to cause this to happen.
Right.
And then I feel like almost like kind of a hypocrite because I'm a part of this culture and part of the human race right now that's bred this mentality and bred this way of living. But then I sit back and bitch about it because obviously I don't want for that. I'm one of the oddballs out. But it's like we've created our own monster and now we've got to live with them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but you know the best part of that is that it's what's the worst or what's the best of the both two monsters, okay? You know, and when you chop it up and look at it, at least what we're doing is trying to cultivate our community and be like, cool, listen to how we're feeling, listen to how we're succeeding, listen to the hills and the struggles that we're pushing past and pushing towards. Maybe you can divert your life and be like, okay, awesome, maybe that's something more to look at than, you know, so and so drinking lean and popping X pills and fucking doing Xanax or some shit all day. What is it,
Xanax is I honestly don't even know what the hell that would do to you because I've never taken one, but it's like everybody talks about that now on lean. Everybody's talking about the weird thing is I don't think, you know, maybe they are all on it because I think there's a big drug culture now in the hip hop scene, but everybody talks about doing codeine and talks about this and that, and I'm thinking like, do these kids even do this shit? Like you also almost got to wonder, are the labels telling them to push the stupid fucking drug scene on people with like how they portray partying and things for some type of alternate motive? You know, I don't know, because like I said, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we don't know, we don't need to know, and you don't want to know, because if you know, then you're probably going to get killed. So you gotta, like I said, tread lightly on a lot of that. I mean, look at the scene. I mean, look at some of the artists that were bigger than they should have been, that had a voice that they shouldn't have had, that have been silenced. And then after these greats had disappeared, isn't it ironic that they created a culture that kind of disassembled what was already built by these people that are no longer here? And it just makes you wonder, not all the greats are gone, but some of the greats that are still around that you think of when you think of hip-hop, some of them are kind of puppets now themselves if you watch them. And
yeah, no, it is, and it's kind of true. Like the it's like, well, you know, you look at, you know, Illuminati people, you know, and some of those hip hop artists. That's kind of where it's all streaming over to.
Agreed. I think there's something running the hip hop scene, running obviously social media, news, everything. I mean, all of it's run from things beyond our knowledge of knowing, but there's reasons that the hip hop scene is nothing but mumble rappers right now. It's not because that's the popular thing. Don't let them fool you, people. Don't let them make you think that mumble rap is the popular thing and that's why you like mumble rap. They made you like mumble rap. They brought it out.
Exactly.
They pushed it on a mass scale. They promoted it, marketed it, and put it on repeat over and over again. Told you that that's what's the coolest thing. You know why I know that? Because I told you, okay, did you hear about that wreck today that killed those 12 people? Well, you didn't hear about that, but I tell
No.
you, hey, I heard it on the news. Next thing
Right.
you know, you hear it on the news. Oh, well, then fuck
Exactly.
yeah, it's true. And you start
Yeah,
telling
that
everybody,
they're like, did you
this
know?
wreck happened
I
earlier,
heard
but
too.
meanwhile, you never seen the wreck. How do you know? And that's almost how the media works. That's almost how the music works. They can come on and put 5 songs from 5 different artists, all mumble rappers, and tell you these are the #1 hits because everyone in the world's wanting to hear this and listening to it right now. Meanwhile, the YouTube views and the plays that they're telling you that this song has are fake. But automatically you hear, oh shit, it's the #1 charting song right now. I never even heard of this dude. How didn't I hear of it? You tell all your friends, and your friends are hearing about it too. Oh shit, this #1 song. Everyone starts liking it because that's the cool thing to do. And if you don't like that #1 song, who the fuck are you? Next thing you know, the song
Exactly.
is the actual #1 hit. And boom, they make millions off the record companies, and they do it. It's diverting your attention by telling you things that are about to happen that haven't, but you make to become a reality.
Yeah, no, very
Read
true.
a
Man.
lot of books and things behind that, and some people say, "Oh, you're a fucking nutcase, man. You're a conspiracy theorist and this and that." I'm like, I don't know, man. The more and more you read about how a lot of the things around us are working, the more that you step outside of that box and gears start turning, and you're like, oh wow, man, I've been a puppet in a show that they've put props around me. I always thought this was my town. This town, it's like the what is that, Ed TV? It's like the Ed TV syndrome. Right there.
Yeah.
Like your whole life you think's real until you find out it isn't.
Exactly. No, very true, man.
No, that's a Truman Show. Excuse me, I'm vice versa.
Truman Show, yeah, with Jim Carrey. Ah.
Jim Carrey. He's a fucking goofball these days, huh?
But see, he knows the truth the same way
He
we
does,
does.
though,
That's
and
the
I
thing.
shouldn't talk shit on him because he is woke as hell.
He is.
Oh.
He's put a lot out there, spiritually and to the Illuminati. Like he's actually gone ahead with a lot of these people, and I respect him for challenging what they said he couldn't do.
I agree. I think he's been a very impressive, comedian and actor his whole life, and has done very well for himself. And then, as of recent, you've seen a lot of interviews and things on him where he's talking a lot of truth and, like you said, Illuminati and just very woke talk. Where if you listen to him, he sounds like a madman, but when you really listen to him, he's a genius. And there's a fine line between genius and insanity, and it just depends on which side of the line you decide to step on. And sometimes we tread pretty close to both. But if you listen to him, he's certainly saying some real stuff that, like I said, you got to watch out when you talk real stuff in life. When you get to a certain level, when you start to learn things and you start to talk about it, there's a lot of times that mistakes happen in life that just seem like everyday occurrences that, okay, this happened, but you don't realize that there's a reason that happened and so is not around it.
Exactly. That supposed
you can't
accident.
know certain things, and we're going to end it with that as far as that portion, because I don't want to see anything happen to you, anything happen to me. People are listening to us out there, and we don't need sniped from the towers. But
right.
So why don't we jump into one of your songs real quick? We wanted to get 2 songs in tonight and kind of let people hear about that. Now's a good time to jump into that. Why don't you go ahead and tell us which of the 2 that you would like to jump in with? We got Like My Strange, and we got Life on a Hustle.
You know what? Let's go with Life on a Hustle. That one to me would probably be one of my more deeper and direct songs. That song, so Life on a Hustle, that beat originally was that big show that I was telling you about, that huge experience we did with Stevie Stone and Rolling Stone tour. That was a gift from that tour. Stevie Stone and Picasso and his other hype man did that beat for me, actually. That's a Strange Music original beat from Stevie Stone and them, and that was a gift for booking that tour, working real hard. And during that tour, I had lost so much, like friendships, relationships, all sorts of shit just got thrown away. And what's funny about it is I made the song then, but it was more made for my life in the future after the song had been written, because it talks about the struggle that me and my wife go through and how I'm really focusing my music and my life on her. And which is funny because at the time I didn't really have that her that I was talking about. I was trying to find her, and now I have that her that I'm talking about. And life on a hustle, that's my hustle, man. My hustle is made for my children, is made for my family, is made for my wife. I want people, the juggalos too. I want people to understand that my hustle is about redemption, and that I am hustling my life away to really, fucking, I'm trying to score karma cards, and bring
hear ya.
peace back to people. And so for me, like, that's what life on the hustle about. Because you go through one of the songs that's like breaking out the shadows and doing just what I'm doing. I was breaking out from the shadow. I was breaking out from just being, a hype man and a manager and, the behind the scenes guy, and now turning my life to the front forward. So yeah, life on the hustle, man. That's my true life.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play this for you. Definitely a great song. I've listened to it many times myself and actually am a big fan of this song. And obviously, of Cross as an artist in general, but this is definitely one of the tracks I really like from him. So we're going to jump into this. This is Life on a Hustle, and you're listening to Cross here on Uncovering the Underground. We'll be back in just a moment.
Just what I'm doing, I'm just keeping up my hustle and loving what I'm pursuing. Living life on the hustle, built up for something truer. If you wanna know the truth, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing. I've been taking up a break to focus on what I need. Catastrophic till my focus was broken down to my knees. I had lost the love I came to step back and couldn't see. So I'm breaking out the back, home run to breaking me. I took a break myself in case I'm being true. Through the rack my heart and see, like king, I'm making blues. I was doing all the things I thought I couldn't do. So the time that get back now, I'm breaking it, coming through. Threw up the future and tore up the game. My partners are brothers that drove me insane. I wrote and I granted and shut on my life. The right on my part of my way. Was stopping and looking at past what I seen. The creatures of the monster determined to me. I'm looking at future, the future was hope. I thought of the demon that spit up my soul. You owe me a mouth, demons thought that I'm mad. I wake through and truth from a filled with regret. Now something I thought was risen and cheap. And fighting the demons that tormented me. I look at the future and rock that I see. Captivated by thousands surrounded by me. Pursuing the future and living is true. Living life on the hustle. So what about you? Breaking out the shadows and doing just what I'm doing. I'm just keeping up my hustle and loving what I'm pursuing. Living life on the hustle, built up for something truer. If you wanna know the truth, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing now. It's what I'm doing. Living life on the hustle, just ask me what I'm doing now.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Uncovering the Underground. I am Skippy Ickham, your host from Brutal Business Entertainment. Tonight on the line we have Cross, and that was his song Life on a Hustle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Real quick, before we go any deeper into the interview, I would like to ask you to tell the fans where they can check your music out at, the different sites that you're on, maybe some of the links for them to check out, or anything that you got going on coming up that they should know about.
Man. So we are currently the biggest thing that we're really doing right now is Judah Priest is coming through to Colorado, and we are booking this 420 event. So he's going to be here for this entire 420 weekend, starting on the 19th to the 21st. And I don't know if you guys know who Judah Priest is or not, or if you're Wu-Tang fans. Judah Priest was an original member from the Kill Priest Wu-Tang clan, so it's one of the original side clans to Wu-Tang. And yeah, he's actually a really great guy. He's grown to be a really good friend of mine. We started working together last year for his Last Shall Be First tour, and have remained in contact. And so he's coming back out to Colorado. It's going to be a huge show, and everybody get your tickets now. Definitely going to be expecting on this show to sell out. And then I'm also going to be releasing 3 brand new songs from the brand new album, from Broken Within, with me and my wife. That's going to be releasing here in May.
Awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing that project. Where can people pick that up at?
Everywhere actually. So it'll be available on every stream system, Best Buy stores, a lot of your local music stores. We're working with our distribution company to get physical distribution everywhere. But you can order it directly from our website as well. So eddygenerations.wixsite.com CRX, or just type in CRX Cross anywhere in the world. Trust me, it will come up.
Awesome. Yeah, if you're listening, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check him out. You just heard a little bit of his music a moment ago when we played Life on a Hustle, and definitely a dope track. All of the music that I've heard from Cross is killer. He keeps it fun. He keeps it entertaining. He keeps lyricism. He keeps something that I stand behind. And honestly, I don't have anybody on the show that I don't stand behind. So if you ever hear them here on Uncovering the Underground, it's because they are a dope artist. They deserve their recognition, and they deserve to be known and have the fans know more about them. So, kudos to you, man. Absolutely great product, great person, great artist and entrepreneur, and just keep doing what you're doing in the scene. Absolutely killing it.
Dude, I super appreciate it, man. I've worked really hard to hone my skills and my music. I've taken a lot of steps that I've graciously had the chance to work with Tech Nine and Travis O'Gwen. And I've also had the chance of being a leader and being a mentor. So I've both learned and taught a lot, and I think I'm still learning and growing in the music industry. So I'm just really humbly am so thankful for all the love that everyone's been showing for, my music, my album, and I guarantee you guys will not be disappointed on this next album coming out.
Oh, I'm sure we won't. I already know that it's going to be something great. I can't wait to hear it. And, it's just, like I said, it's great to have you on the show. Jump into a couple comments here. Looks like my boy Danny said that Judah was just in Cape Coral about 6 months ago, looks like he said. So he was talking about your boy that you're going to be touring with coming up, or that you were doing the project with. Let's see here. My screen. Oh, he said his screen's cracked, so it might have came across weird if it typed weird. But yeah, he said that Judah just came to his area about 6 months ago. So make sure, if you're listening out there, attend Cross's show with Judah coming up. What date did you say that was?
I'm sorry, say it one more time. You were breaking up.
Oh, I said the show that you're doing with Judah. When's that?
So all three, actually. So all 3 days here in Colorado, it's going to be on 4/19 through 4/20. It's Judah's 4/20 celebration.
Oh, okay. I seen the flyer for that. I should post that up later. If you're listening in right now, I'll post the flyer. My computer was being weird a little bit ago. I'll post the flyer from that specific show event coming up. That little 3-day gig that's going on. I'm going to put that up on Facebook, so you can check that out on the Brutal Business Entertainment page. If you have, if you're in the Colorado area, you should stop to that and check it out. So I asked a couple shows ago.
Yeah.
I asked someone if they could. I've asked this question a couple of times because I like it. If you could describe your life or you using only movie titles, what would it be?
Ooh. If I was to describe my life using only movie titles.
Correct.
Let's see. Man,
I like that. I like to get you nice and cozy with the interview, and then I like to just take you by storm.
The best movie, honestly, I think that would really describe my life, the Goofy movie.
Okay. Just all kinds of crazy stuff happening, huh?
That is my life right there. And that is also one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's one of those movies that I can put on, and I actually carry that with me. Like when we're doing tours and shows and stuff, I carry the Goofy movie and Surf's Up with me. So that, like, on my computer, laptop, phone, whatever. So that way, if I do have a bad day or a bad moment or something, I throw that in. I'm good to go for the rest of the day. But yeah, no, like if I were to step outside of my life and say my life could be any movie, it would definitely be the Goofy movie, because you're essentially, I'm doing this to impress that one love. That one love to me is music, and at the same time, you're doing all these crazy things just to get on stage, just to get into the limelight, and yeah. And then there's the girl that you get at the end. And for me, I feel that my wife has signified that girl, that model, that super gorgeous, like, oh man, if I ever got into the industry, that would be my wife. That's my wife, man. I got no complaints. Trust me.
That's what's up, man. I mean, that's great, and that makes sense why you'd pick that movie and say that, and that's worked out for you, and I'm very happy. Like I said, it looks like you went through a rough patch, as you told us about, and then things kind of led itself to be, I think, probably better than they ever would have been. So sometimes you got to go through the storm before you can see the sunset, you know what I mean, or see the sunrise. So that's awesome. Now, another question I ask several of my artists that are on the show, which is kind of a fun question, is if the animal kingdom were to take on power and take over the world, they were smart enough to, like, beyond, I'm trying to think of how I want to explain this. If there was to be one animal that would rule the entire world, if things were different and they had more power than they do now, what animal would pretty much ultimately be the ruler? And I like this question because someone could say something fast and furious like a cheetah. Someone could say something as small as, a mouse, because there's different reasons. And every artist that I've asked this to has told me something, and they've explained why they think that could be. And it's always very cool to see the different mindset.
Yeah. For me, it would be the tiger. It would be the white tiger for sure.
And what
I feel
what would be your reasoning?
For me, so what my family crest actually is the white tiger. My family is mostly Puerto Rican and Italian. So they believe that like spirit animal or your spirit, goes through an animalistic nature. And so, that's, and for our family, the men in our family, it's the white tiger. I feel that in such generation or in such a world that, the animals and everything is working at its full capacity, that the tiger is both strong enough, smart enough, cunning enough, and would still have the vocabulary to be vocal enough to still overpower and maintain a proper world like we would actually need.
And that's a perfect answer. You've explained your reasoning very thoroughly, and that's what I like to hear, because, and I mean, knock on wood, it's going to happen eventually, but I haven't had anybody yet say the same thing. And that's what I like, is it can be, there's so many different things you could choose, and there's different reasons of saying that it could be the poison dart frog, because it's tiny and you never think about it, and all the rest of the animals will be too busy taking care of their opposites that are their size, trying to take them out, that you never see the little things slip in and poison you while you're sleeping. I mean, there's so many different little answers that it's crazy. And that's why I like that question. It's kind of something unique and different. Keep it fun. And then I also believe the picture for your company's logo is also the white tiger, correct?
Yes, it is actually.
Okay, I thought so. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the company itself? So you told us about how you've risen within the company and how you've taken on the music. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your company and what all it is that you guys do as a company?
So 80 Generations, originally I started straight out of high school. Directly after getting my very first graphic design degree, I got an associate's in graphic design, and I was like, awesome, this is great. I've always wanted to do cartoons. And so it was me, one of my best friends, and my brother. We called him Ninja. His name's Mike Yonker, a wonderful and amazing man. And so it was me and him. He was a writer, and I was the animator and artist. We pulled in some more artists, and eventually, pretty much first year out the gate, we had like 3-4 artists, some animators, everything was great. So then we went to this cartoon originally that was Faith and Fear, Brothers War. And you can actually still find that somewhere on my page. I'm not going to tell anybody where, but if you find it, I'll give you a free copy of my album. But so Faith and Fear, Brothers War was our first cartoon. So we're writing and we're going through, and then bam, we ran into this huge snag because all the animators and everybody was like, hey, so we need music and background music for this cartoon. And hey, I don't know if anybody thought about it, but we need voiceovers. And so I was like, oh shit, you're right. Let's go find some people. So we tried the first source, which was companies upon companies, and they all had the same answer, $50,000 here, $2,000 there, unless you have experience in this, and that, then blah, blah, blah. And so we were like, you know what? Fuck that. We'll do it ourselves. So I personally went out. I got back into college. I was like, hey, I'm going to help us do better. So I went back to college for business and marketing. While I was in college, we opened up another section to 80 Generations, which was the 80 Generations LLC, which is what it is now. And we were like, hey, so we're just going to be a multimedia production company. And we're just going to do it all ourselves. So we're going to do the drawing ourselves. We're going to do the music ourselves. We're going to compose ourselves, everything. And so first time at the gate, we did pretty successful. I sent my cartoon over to Marvel Studios, actually got a reply back from Stan Lee when he was still alive. God bless Stan Lee. And it was the most inspiring story ever. He writes me this long letter, but essentially he's like, hey, it's not what Marvel is looking for, but I love your concept. I love your art and I love your graphics. Keep going, keep pursuing. Excelsior, blah, 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 Stan Lee. So I was like, man, I can't believe Stan Lee wrote us back. This is amazing. We should keep pursuing this. So we kept pushing. Turns out that some of the music artists and some of the voiceover artists that we were working with had no managers. They had no way of getting other shows. They had no way of doing all this other stuff. And so I'm like, hey, I started to learn how to. I was working at the time with some guys here at the Roxy Theater with Scum and Troll. And I'm like, hey, I know some of these guys. I can just go ask them to get you guys booked for shows since production on this cartoon is going to take some time. So one thing led to another. In the cartoon, there were dancers. So what I wanted to do was a brand new thing, but it's not new anymore, but was a mocap design, so motion graphics. And I was going to hire a bunch of dancers, and then me, myself, I'm a dance state champion. So I was going to dance too and then record it, bam, make the cartoons. That didn't work out like planned. And after building this dance team, essentially, I found out that, well, we were a dance team. And the animation was taking longer, so they had battles. They had things and events that they wanted to do. No booking agent. I was like, hey, while we're waiting, I'll book that too. So I'll be 2 guys booked. So I'm sitting here and I'm working now. I'm booking artists and rappers. Now I'm booking studio time producers. Now I'm booking dancers and setting up shows. And we sat back one day and I realized that I had become the person that I was looking for. And that I was a good resource for things that other people are.
You still there?
But,
there you are. I lost you for a minute. We might be having some technical difficulties, guys. Just give us a moment. Yeah, we lost a call. Seems like there might be some rough lines between here and Colorado right now. So we're going to try to give Cross a call back. Give us a moment.
So, yeah. So that was we got everything connected, and then once everyone kind of needed all this other information and all this other services, we ended up being the company that everybody needed. And as that grew, I started figuring out, more business, more fans, and 80 Generations just kept becoming a thing that was a necessity. We offer services that really in this industry haven't really been that tapped. 3D designs, 3D graphics, animation, mocap. When you're booking shows, not having fucking $100 and $200 booking fees for some show that you're in state for, you can offer more promotion for than anything. So 80 Generations eventually started off as one little kid's dream and eventually has now become everybody else's tool to kind of build a dream.
No, and that's awesome. I mean, it's very similar to, how Brutal Business kind of came about. As it just started as something, myself, and over time I just started thinking, well, I could do that, and I would do it, and I'm not bad at that, and then I would, start something else and I'd do it, and I'm like, I'm not bad at that either, and I started thinking about why am I just doing music? Why am I limiting myself by just doing music when I can do photography and do the radio side of things and do all this other stuff? And I'm like, well, you know what? Why would I need a manager? Why would I need any of this? Because I can be that guy, not only for myself, but for all my artists, and help give very talented people in the underground who, are great at what they do and are great people a chance that might be the underdog and are not getting seen like they should, because a lot of us don't. And I've always been that underdog, and I've always kind of been that weirdo and that odd bird out, and I'll never fit in with the group. But, I found a group of people that I fit in with that have the right mentality and drive and talent that may be being overlooked. And I say, what if we band together? We can be unstoppable, because one voice might not be heard, but when you put enough voices together, you will hear us. And, I feel that that's, what you've done as well. And it's funny. It's how it comes together. If you would have asked me years ago, did I think it would be where it's at now? I mean, I had high hopes of being, even beyond where I'm at now, but realistically, who knows if I'd ever even get anywhere close. And now I look at the things that we've accomplished and know how far we still got to go, but how far we will go. It's a testimony, and it's what drives you, and it's what keeps you going. I know it does the same thing for you. I watch what you guys are doing, and it's awesome to see, you making moves. We might still be having a bad connection here, guys. Give us a moment if you are. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the second song from Cross right now. This is called Like My Strange. And we're going to go ahead and get that playing real quick, and we'll be back on the air to wrap up the show in just a moment.
5, 4, 3, 2. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows crew. Do it like my strange crew. Do it like you paid to. Coming from the city that we ripped and we flamed through. My people in the game do we bleed and we pay through. Struggles on the streets that we beat and we cage through. Stopping ain't a choice, so we pull and we break rules. Running from the cops, FBI wanna take you. Talking about success, Illuminati wanna slave you. Darkness got a phase here and Marcus wanna break through. We patiently we wait through the hatred and the fake fools. Rocking on stage, got a breath, gotta take two. My people got the bait and the mask, time to slay through. Written for the broken and confined, time to make moves. Pushing from the back of my mind, got the gray cruise. Platinum just a title that the industry will take you. Never turning back, keep it strange at the range too. Knowing about this game if you wanna play this game, fool. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows crew. Tell me what these strange do. Tell me about these strange fools. Tell me what I'm asking about these wicked and insane crews. You're talking about the pain, just the hustlers try to make moves. Talking about my family on the struggle, but ain't choose to. Talking about the pain and they bruise and they cruise to. Mothers of the families and the husbands on the work crew. Teens without a home, so they beat and they smoke through. Looking for success, every turn got a breakthrough. Until we reach success, ain't no stopping when we make moves. Laying in the bed, hearing forces got the shakes too. Crying through the pain till it's making me deranged too. Praying to a God, praying life ain't a fake too. Hoping for salvation, can the cross really save you? Instead of being saved by the church, time to change rules. Kicking with my wicked and insane and deranged crew. Talking about the strange, cause we living like we strange, fool. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows crew.
And we are back on Uncovering the Underground. Once again, I am your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment. As I said earlier, if you listen to the show or you are listening to the show, please share us around and get us out to your friends. Get us some more buzz and help grow the show. We have a lot of great guests coming up on the next several shows, and we want you guys to be a part of that and join us to be a part of the experience of getting to know those artists behind the scenes. So hit the share button. You just got done listening to Like My Strange Do from Cross. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties there on the line, but we do got him back on the line, and we are good to go. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened there. How many of it was either yours or mine? It's hard to say sometimes, the internet or just if there's a storm going by, it can get a little spotty, but I think we got you back. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back in the house and back in action.
Back in action. That's what I like to hear. Well, we were, what were we talking about right before we lost you?
Let's see. So we're kind of going over. I think the last song, tours. I swear to you, I probably forgot too. That's that problem.
That's okay, because when you get in depth in conversation like that, sometimes it's hard to remember exactly because you get so embodied in everything else that you're talking about that you kind of lose track of time and lose track of what we were speaking of. But one of the things I did want to give a shout out to is the next couple guests we got coming up on the show, because we're getting ready to wrap up here in a few minutes, is we do have Rich the Rabbit coming up on the next show. That is on Thursday the 28th. That is 2 Thursdays from now. 2 Thursdays following that, on the show, we do have Nasty Inc. That's my homie from Indiana State. Great artist. Got a chance to meet him last year at Night of the Shrunken Heads Festival, which was Razakel's festival. Great, awesome time with a lot of really passionate and great artists in the building, showing a lot of love. So shout out to him. And then we do have a 2-week delay on the show. We're going to skip it during the holiday season. Then we're coming back with Closer to Hell. So you got Rich the Rabbit, Nasty Inc., and Closer to Hell on the next 3 upcoming shows. I do want to thank our last guest, which was Seeker. He is a dubstep and drum and bass DJ. He was on our show 2 weeks ago. You can check that show out on our past list. And then the show prior to that, we had Dean, D-E-A-N. Awesome interview. Talking about he's kind of similar to us, Cross, where he's an entrepreneur. He started his own business. He started making comics. He started making stories, and now he's writing his own series. And does hip hop, does his own video production. He built his own company. Now he has a clothing line, and that's one of the things. Like I said, I interview a lot of regular artists, and there's nothing wrong with just being an artist. But I always really love the chance that I get to pick another business mind, pick through your brain and get to meet you in more in depth, because it's like a reflection of what I'm doing in a different way, in a different area. And when you meet great, humble people such as yourself that are doing that, it's great to see, because we are the few and far between, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I actually speak to you really highly to my wife. So I hope that she's listening. You may have seen her online earlier. She was commenting, but yeah.
I think I did, yeah.
I love the way you work. I love having watched a lot of your artists and a lot of your business grow, man. So I support you. ADG is with you, man, 100%.
Thank you. Brutal Business is with you as well, and definitely think we have a long partnership and friendship, coming up. So it's a great thing to get to establish friendships like this, all because of the name of music.
Exactly, man.
Most powerful thing on earth. Well, I do want to thank all the fans tonight for checking us out. As I said, we have a lot of great guests coming up, a lot of fun things planned. If you have any suggestions of things that you would like to see on the show or happen with the show, feel free to hit us up. If you have artists that you would like to see interviewed on the show, feel free to have them hit us up as well. You can do that at brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. That is brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. You can send us inquiries and different questions and things to that email. I always answer everybody on a daily basis. So anything you have to send to us, feel free to do so. Artists out there or people listening that have friends that are artists, if you want your music submitted to the show for possible play in the uninterrupted music hour prior to the interview, you can send it to the same email. We would definitely check out your music. If we feel that it's fit for the show, then we'll go ahead and get that in rotation and start playing that right away. And we do have several shows coming up. You can check that out on www.teambrutalbusiness.com. Again, that's www.teambrutalbusiness.com. You can check out our shows, all of our artists, all of their music, all of our models, radio shows, and everything in one central location. We also have a rap contest going on right now, Brutal Business Entertainment's Brutalize the Beat. You can check that out on Facebook. It gives you all the rules and details. Several really big and great prizes. To the winner of that, there will be a first and second place winner off of those who have entered. It is a $10 admission to get into the contest, and then we get you one of the two beats that you pick. You record your best verse to that, and you send it back. We do have a panel of judges judging that. That is running from now until the end of April. So if you want to get involved, feel free to check that out on Facebook, or if you don't know where to find it at, feel free to hit that brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. And like I said, we get back to you on an hourly or daily basis. Other than that, we do want to thank you for watching the show tonight or listening to the show tonight. This is episode 6 of Uncovering the Underground. I am your host, Skippy Ickham. Before we go this evening, I want to give Cross a chance to give shout-outs and say any last words that he would like to, and we'll go ahead and close the show out. So, homie, once again, we want to thank you for being on the show. And before we let you go ahead and give your shout-outs.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to give a shout out to our wonderful magazine company, Star Player Magazine, to my wonderful and amazing wife, Miss Na Shawana. Definitely check out her new album coming out directly after ours from Broken Mood Within. She's going to be releasing Pure Ecstasy, so take a look out for that. And obviously, if you're going to be in the Colorado area, do not miss Judah Priest live in concert here for the 420 weekend. We're going to be getting it in and getting it live. Tickets are on sale now.
Perfect. You heard it right from the man himself. Check out the shows, check out the upcoming music, check him out as a person, and look into his business, 80 Generations. We have Cross on the line. We do want to thank you for checking us out this evening. You have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you next time here on Uncovering the Underground.
Awesome. You too.